However much I would enjoy your conversation, I really think we should concentrate on not getting killed for now.
That's nonsense. Active defense. I agree with him. Dinner. Maker's Bane and Plastic Guiju. This is our weaponry. Might as well run all over the place, see if there are other hidden chests here. Okay, back to the temple then. It seems like if we get enough kills, we'll get some kind of bonus on. More. I'm gonna see if there's something else airdropped here. Since the number of kills seems to make some kind of difference. I guess we'll go back to the temple.
Distracting me from the cries of my enemies. Sky better have a good reason for ringing that bell.
Avalanches, maybe? You just keep the Lotus Assassins busy here. I'll go to the temple.
I won't stop until they're ankle deep in blood. Head first. Come to my axes, all of you!
Good, you are here. The trap is set, the signal sent. It's all up to you now.
What have you done?
Easy, easy. I know this looks bad, but trust me, you'll like what I have to say. I hope. I was approached, once or twice. The Lotus Assassins offered much, even the chance of returning my daughter. But I assure you, I did not plan to betray you. You showed me that the world, my life, is not as pointless as I once thought. My daughter is long dead. Their offer only shows how desperate you have made them.
I'm glad you trust me, but they still plan to launch a sneak attack.
I let them think I agreed, but hear me out. I couldn't risk that someone else in the group was also tempted. They might tell Death's Hand the plan was discovered. This is a chance to isolate the leader of the troops. Death's Hand thinks that he and a group of assassins will enter the temple unopposed. But I have a surprise. I set traps. Remember how I asked Kang for some of his explosive casks? The assassins will be destroyed, and Death's Hand will be yours alone.
Why not blow up Death's Hand too?
From what I have seen, he is stronger than that. If he is damaged by the blast, good. But you are the one meant to fight the power behind him. He's an arrogant one. I doubt he'd consider the possibility that my loyalty to you would be stronger than my fear of him. The bell was the signal. He'll be here. Thank you for this opportunity, by the way. I could never face Death's Hand myself, but I want to make him pay for thinking I would be so weak. Use my daughter against me, will he? Make him hurt.
Very good, Sky. You have proven a useful tool.
Guess again, you slab of rot. That should soften him up. I may not be able to fight him while I'm wounded, but at least I did this. I'll go warn the rest.
Yeah, how do we defeat him? I guess with martial arts style.
You have a better grip on your fellows than my master thought. The plight of a dead child is difficult motivation to resist.
Oh, I will surprise you in many ways, Prince Kin.
That name means nothing. I am the will of the Emperor. I am Death's Hand. Sun Li commands that you die. I must obey. The will of the Master guides me. The strength of the dragon empowers me. I cannot be defeated. I must obey.
Then fight as you must, but you will not defeat me.
You know nothing about me, about what I endure. Your fists will not defeat me, not while I must obey.
What actually works on this bastard? I'm sort of inclined to save resources because there's no telling what will be actually required to take him down. There's probably some kind of initial phase where he isn't that dangerous. That's how they usually work. He does a lot of damage. Simple strike and we lost a significant chunk of our health. He isn't that high on health either though. I feel we'll probably have to defeat him multiple times. So yeah, I lost just half my health there. Probably. I'm not going to use any special abilities here. Actually, I have to because I'm dead otherwise. Does this even work on him? No, don't stay there, you stupid son of a bitch. Yes, I can drain chi from him.
1,000 cuts. Heavenly wave. 1,000 cuts. Focus. You cannot defeat me. Double 1,000 cuts.
Out of focus. Yeah, that's no good. He is healing. I think we, in many ways, already lost our opportunity. So he's sort of like the arena champion in a way. Has dual weapons, very damaging, fairly dangerous, and heals up.
Your target. Golem Force. 1,000 cuts. 1,000 cuts.
You refuse to see it, don't you? You must know who Death's Hand is by now, but what he is defies you, defies your skill. He is more than Sun Qin ever was. Sun Hai linked him to the stolen power of the Water Dragon, and bound him to my armor to taunt me. An unrelenting, unbeatable force that wore the face of my betrayal. Now he is mine.
So we must break the bond. I don't think talking has any meaning here. Your words do not frighten me. I know all about you, more than you might know yourself.
Do you pretend to have insight into my character? Some great truth from beyond the pale that will reform me? I am no villain. There is no malice in my actions. I had no choice. My brother had no restraint. A world under his heel would be chaotic and violent. I will bring order. I will ensure that everyone is safe within their roles.
I learned of your family. Do you use them to justify this?
You claim intimate knowledge of me. I should have suspected that a journey through death would reveal many secrets, but your understanding is flawed. I am not here out of revenge. Sorrow at their deaths did not bring me here, but rather anger at my brother for destroying my possessions in so petty a manner. In the end, it changes nothing. I intend to make the Empire a better place. As a god, it will be a simple matter. Arise, Death's Hand! You are bound to this power, and you will not stop until this fool is dead.
You trained me. Would I fault someone I have already defeated? I'm a spirit monk.
You have learned much about your heritage as a spirit monk, but you missed the most important lesson. They are all dead. Their skill did not save them. Do you intend to rescue Death's Hand? Perhaps you think you can appeal to his conscience, to the remnants of kin that swim in that helmet.
Kin was made Death's Hand after you abandoned him. I'll restore his true self. I'll help Sun Kin possess you by binding him to me. I can free him after.
Will you? Even if you could, I believe you would find it difficult to release so valuable a tool. Come then. Pit your will against mine. Take him if you can.
Interesting. I suppose it's a nice way to make this fight. It's not just a repeat of the same battle you've already fought. So its sword style is actually quite nice too. It has a nice combination of attacks. If you get the initial strike going, it's very hard to stop the rest. Although he's healing, which is a bit of a problem.
Enough! You have cut the strings to my puppet, but you will know defeat soon enough. I grow closer to the heavens by the minute. Take this corpse. See if you can throw away such a useful tool. I will face you at the height of my power, in the heart of my empire. Your master awaits you, child.
Please, let me rest. Let my spirit finally have some peace.
Calm yourself. I will release you from this prison.
Your master is diminished with my loss, even if he does not admit it. Thank you, Spirit Monk, for letting me rest.
What bullshit. I mean, I just like that my companions were displayed like they were totally helpless against the Jade Golem. Yeah, would have been I think better if they would have been fighting going on there, but they would have been pushed back. That's just them being portrayed like some helpless peasants. They're all very capable fighters. And suddenly something happens.
We are victorious, but how long will this peace last?
The day already drags like an overloaded ox. Our enemies should be more efficient.
I do not shy from meaningful combat, but eliminating your boredom is not a worthwhile cause to fight for.
If there's no wine, there should be fighting. That's the way of things for a warrior.
I trust everyone has recovered from the battle that ended a second ago.
We should not take much longer to lick our wounds, even if the victory was ours. No doubt the enemy awaits us.
Emperor Sun Li waits for us, growing in power. He is training the water dragon far faster than Sun Hai ever managed. Do I want to talk with them? Not particularly. I will not keep him waiting. We leave immediately.
I appreciate the need for haste, but the marvelous dragonfly will need some adjustments. The landing here was, rough. I will ferry whom I can for an initial assault. Give me a few moments. We will leave at your command when my work is done.
So we'll have to talk to people. Still no clue what to do with these. I haven't really read the papers though. Don't particularly care. There was Way of the Open Palm, Intuition 10, Spirit 5, Body -5. Only followers of the Way of the Open Palm may use this check. Spirit and Intuition. I'm not particularly interested in getting -5 to Body though, so screw that. Okay, let's start view.
We are a long way from the farm I once called home. I never thought I would make such a journey. Your master is a formidable opponent. We cannot leave the Empire in his hands.
Ready yourself, we will be leaving soon.
I will be ready. Rely on it.
So many changes. The Jade Empire is not the place I once thought it was. What Master Li has done is unforgivable. We have to set things right and undo the evil he has put in motion.
What evil is that? It's all hanging around the water dragon thing. but I'm surprised no one's really gone into explaining how things work. Maybe for someone who's familiar with the Chinese folklore system, it doesn't require explaining, but I have no fucking clue. I don't understand why we have to do this. What's so bad about what they're doing? They aren't really being returned to the wheel of life, sure, but how to express this? I don't see what the problem is. Is there no way around the problem? Does it have to be the water dragon? Surely if the blasted thing can take the water dragon's power, it can help perform the same functionality. I mean, at least in, well, let's say a typical Western role-playing game, if there's a portfolio for a god, which is basically what the water dragon is here, if someone would take it down, it would take its power. Or alternatively, someone else would fulfill that portfolio, some other god, or naturally the guy with power. Either way, the job doesn't disappear or not get done just because the current god of that job has some issues. There's some kind of a ripples, upheaval, something going wrong, but there are multiple ways to deal with the situation. It's not the end of the world if someone steals one of God's powers or usurps them. So I don't get what the deal is with the water dragon. I guess we're just going to have to be satisfied with the answer that spirits of the dead will haunt towards the living in increasing numbers if something is not done, and that's the end of it.
I know everything will be fine. You will see to it.
Oh.
I have seen everything that I believe in torn apart, one after another. Hopefully it is all over soon. The sins of my family must be dealt with. Only then can the Empire regain the glory it has lost.
I've made some difficult decisions to get here.
There will be more. Don't let the weight of your choices cloud your vision. I will be there watching what you do. I trust that you will make the right choices for the Empire and its people. I won't let either be abused again.
What? I'm not about to become the Emperor. I'm just going to kick the one guy's ass and release the water dragon. No interest in being in any leadership position, not at least not on the Empire level.
I will be ready. Don't.
Everyone seems to have the same dialogue option, so I don't want to talk to them anymore.
Hello. I suppose the marvelous dragonfly is ready. We don't have to worry about landing too many more times. Just make sure you are done talking to everyone. I lost the interior baffling, so you won't be able to hear a thing once we are in the air.
Yeah, let's just go.
Oh, I think they know you are ready. Every eye is on you, across the whole Empire, I think. We'll have to see if you are worthy of that gaze, All right, everyone in.
Well, here we are. I'd hoped I wouldn't have to use this entrance again. I doubt this visit will be any less violent than the last.
Yeah, keep your guard up. This won't be as easy as last time.
Ha! You thought that the last visit was easy. This should be more fun than even I could have hoped for.
Yeah, I'm staying here. For safety.
A startling revelation from Kang.
I expect there will already be enough chaos to go around without your talents.
The road will be divided. There is a powerful presence stirring, and her will must be obeyed. Is it the water dragon spirit? There will be no interference, but there will be guidance. There is something you must see.
Trust her voice. We need a path through Master Li's corruption.
Trust what you see. Voices can come from anywhere.
Whatever we are doing, we have to do it now.
Don't worry, I'll make sure there are no surprises this time.
This is going to be a mess. I know it is.
Yeah, it is. And my stats weren't, or attributes weren't healthy and focus not restored. Crap. You have just saved a lot of time by actually restoring during the travels. If you move from one map or to another, I don't think it would be out of question to simply restore your stats to full. What would be the harm, really? Million assassins, yeah. Can't do shit. At least we get something. Disorientation is the most annoying thing ever. You can't, it's not just you can't attack or anything, everything fails.
Spirit beat. 1,000 cuts. Paralyzing paw. This spirit being. Thousand
Yes, more life. Yeah, we have a ton of style points, but nothing really to use them on.
We don't have time for...
Now we need to find the water dragon first. Destroy her body. Superior warrior. 5,000 silver. What's the point at this point, really? There hasn't been even half decent chapters here for a long time. Suppose we have the one in our group. Not sure. Does he have any new stuff?
Ah, excellent. I have many items just waiting for you.
Cyclone gems, damage shield. Among the first monks who developed the Tempest style, there was one who began questioning the closed-fist tenets of this order. Ostracized from his ruthless order, the monk sought new ways to harness the wind without relying upon closed-fist chaos. By focusing his hatred for his old order into a handful of small stones, he managed to replicate the power of Tempest in those stones. A stone of this type surrounds the wearer in swirling whirlwind that whip and tear at any harm stones wielder. We already have something like this. Sleeping Tiger. White Demon. Cow Bezoar. 50,000 for 50 chi. Or 50 focus. Or a little bit of cash for plus 7 health. I'll take the path of the warrior. Ooh. Health or chi? Maybe health. Yes. And warrior of the blah blah blah. Get a little bit more extra health. So our health is almost as good as our chi at this point. Again, I think it's just better against boss fights.
You have come. Destiny set this moment in motion, but from here, your choices are your own to make. Your master awaits you, but he is not yet aware. You have time to alter things to your favor. You have time to set us all on the path to rebirth. Learn what has come before, and you will understand what must be done now. Follow into the depths and see what was done in search of my power.
Spirits know many things, but how to assault a fortress does not appear to be one of them. Follow her, and take someone with you, but whoever you leave behind should take another route. That way they don't get behind you and we'll all get equal fighting.
You don't know the palace. You will wander aimlessly.
I always wander aimlessly, and I always find my way. Besides, we've been here before.
Very well. Everyone meet near the throne room.
We'll be lucky to see him again.
You're lucky to see me now, Princess. I'm not known for leaving my company alive.
Maybe this is the explanation I've been looking for. That said, I think this should have come in the middle portion, after the betrayal of the master. Sort of explain the situation as well as possible, what happened, and so when this portion comes, there's no explanations ready anymore. You know what you have to do and what the situation is, and that's your focus. This is not the time for explaining things again. But at the same time, it's better to explain at this point than not explain at all. We certainly don't really... I don't get really what is going
The tombs of the greatest emperors. Here the empire was built, and here the heart of it is laid to rest. Now that heart is torn out, like another to come. It was gutted to allow the flow, to guide the water that pours from a crime against the heavens and the order of all things.
Such disrespect! I never imagined my father would allow this to happen.
What hope is there for the future when the past is cast so roughly aside?
Why was this done?
Emperor Sun would not accept that his empire had to fade so that something new would bloom. He declared war as if the drought was an advancing army. He and the glorious strategist focused on me, the water dragon. I symbolized the fading they wanted to avoid and the regrowth they desperately needed. I became the answer to everything. Press further, and you will see the source of the lush new empire under the brothers' sun. You must see it with your own eyes to comprehend what they have done.
I don't think so. You could just explain, show us another vision or a dream or whatever. They're bleeding out the water dragon then.
What is this horror? I pray my eyes deceive me.
I don't.
Such a brutal display. Now I truly know the depths to which my father went.
Behold, words would not have sufficed. You had to see with your own eyes to truly know my fate. This cannot continue. Fight them! Show them that such things will not go unpunished!
Ooh, there's someone paralyzed. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, she's taken out. I can't do anything either.
This is what he has done. This is what your Master Li allowed. For 20 years, my body has bled, separate from the spirit, feeding the Empire and the Emperor. It is an agony that you cannot fathom. To have fallen so far into the hands of men, rebirth is impossible while this continues.
No!
By all the heavens.
Forgive us, great dragon. Our mortal kin are ignorant, foolish, unkind. These crimes will not go unanswered.
I have never seen such a crime against the proper order of things.
Every freedom I cherish is violated by this.
What?
You small creatures. You heard the sounds of battle, but are you truly prepared? What will become of your world if my kind fall to the same evils that plague you? Your Master Li must be stopped. The Empire must find balance without the flow of heart water he has unleashed.
This water beats the Empire. This was why the drought ended.
Water flows from the wound that will not heal in the body that cannot die. Part of me functions as an aspect of our world, elemental in nature. It was never meant to flow free. It is not infinite. The Jade Empire is green, but somewhere another land goes thirsty. All things are linked.
And someone else suffers our fate while we defy destiny.
You blame Master Li. Did Emperor Sun place you here?
The reign of Emperor Sun saw my abuse, but Sun Li, the glorious strategist, laid the plans. One could not occur without the other. It was never his intent to let Brother Hai rule. Had his plan initially succeeded, your master would be Emperor, and you would have been destroyed with the others of your kind.
I feel as though this could absolve my father of blame, but seeing what was done here, he was beyond my help.
What do you think I can do about this?
You are a spirit monk, charged with guarding the order of things. You were not born to this role, but as the last, a solemn duty falls at your feet. I cannot be healed. My body has been cut open, my heart removed. I should rejoin the Great Wheel, but I am defiled and cannot rest. Rebirth can only come when my essence is free. To defeat your master, you must stop the power he draws from me. Soon he will be too strong, even for you.
I'm guessing the point wasn't just to the point was to harness the water dragon, so part of the plan includes stopping the reincarnation process entirely, so it can't reincarnate. An ever-flowing source of water, and the undead rising is just a side effect. No one really cared about that. This doesn't seem like a good plan. I'm sort of surprised by this, in the sense that no one has sort of shown any real concern about the people. And even because of a drought, surely some kind of a... the people would have been the most to suffer. But surely some kind of a elite would have been able to, well, if not easily, manage to survive it anyway. Most of the casualties would have been in the peasantry, which they have shown no concern over throughout this entire game. So I guess I'm really a bit confused about what's the main real motivation here. I guess it doesn't matter too much at this point. How is he controlling that power?
Your master abuses the amulet he took from you. His brother did not have that luxury, so he needed to draw my essence slowly. The toll on his body was grave. Your master does not have to be so cautious. The amulet is not a source of power, but it is a focus.
Yes, we've gone over this.
He partakes of energy that mortals were never meant to hold. He laps at it greedily, expecting your return. You must destroy the source of that power. You must destroy my body. When he falls, all that is mine will then rejoin my spirit. Rebirth.
If Lee is using the amulet I no longer need, could I control the power too?
To what end? Look what has become of our master. Look what he has been a part of.
It is tempting, I know, but care must be taken. Even the strong-willed have misused this energy.
I do not think the mind of a mortal was meant to hold such ability.
Beware what you say, for you are still mortal and open to the same weaknesses he and his brothers displayed.
Fine. I will not tempt myself. I will destroy your body as you wish.
There is no other decision to make. This desecration, we must undo it.
A good step toward rectifying this desecration.
There was no other reasonable response to such an abomination.
I don't get why this is an abomination.
Then let it be so. Take hold of a blade, spirit monk, and let it strike true. Destroy the machine that maintains this abomination. The great wheel must turn.
I guess the problem is not necessarily not seeing what could be wrong in this, but how the reason they want to sort of emphasize why this is wrong is because it breaks the order of things, not because something is done to a sentient entity. For example, it being kept there, being abused, all that. It's wrong because it breaks the order of things. And that's it. And that's, in my opinion, that's not a great reason. Especially since I don't understand the order of things all that well. There's no explanation about the position of and purpose of all the gods. What's the consequences?
Now we must go to the throne room. Sun Li will be waiting.
Spirit and not. Plus 10 spirit. I don't want to start changing these anymore. I still feel sort of that I'm just feeling things out. I don't know what I'm doing. No one has still sufficiently explained it to me why this is all wrong and despicable. I feel it's the fault of the storyteller. I mean, who the hell wrote this? He's done a bad job of it. Body minus. Feels like if you had a story about a person being trapped and being bled out to fuel some kind of sinister purpose, mind being shut down, but still the soul being aware or something like that, and the story how it's being told tries to emphasize how it must be stopped because it breaks the hospital rule of conduct or something like that. It just, yeah, that's true, but is that really how you want to emphasize it? It seems like odd way to complain about it, or that it's against how things usually are played out for people or managed here. That's the problem with what's being done. It just, if any one person told you the story, that's not how they would tell it. They try to emphasize the horror of what's being done, that it's how it's being experienced. Try to get you to sympathize yourself or imagine yourself in that position. Not, it breaks the order of things, the order that you have no idea how the hospital bureaucratic or the system is supposed to work. So all you've been told is that it's not supposed to be like this. So
I will live to be as old as the Empire itself, and I will never be able to remove that sight from my mind.
I will treasure this moment for as long as I live. To have a hand in such a creature's destiny, it is an honor.
This was nearly overwhelming. My eyes were not meant to see such things.
Yes, your master. He made this possible. I don't know how much help I will be against him.
We have to try. I can't leave here knowing I didn't try.
We will try. There is nothing else we can do.
again.
There are others here who may wish to express a preference in this matter.
No one is safe if this continues. Hold them while Silk Fox and I confront Lee.
It has to be done. We need to move forward, and this is the only way.
At least they're doing something useful. I sort of wish I feel the storyteller is sort of failing on another front in the characterization of these. They sort of are your Bioware companions, but they don't have all that much of a personality. The reason why I like Black Whirlwind so much is, and I guess to some extent the Drunken Master guy, who the henpecked, is that they actually seem to have sort of a personality. But with the rest, a lot of them are sort of well, I can express the problem this way. If I'd have to describe these characters, who they are as characters, I don't know if I could differentiate between them all that much. I could say, yeah, that's the princess, but there are minor flavor differences that are very hard to put your finger on. Black Whirlwind, on the other hand, has a clear character. He's the most enjoyable. The little girl is one other of the shitty things. She seems very interesting. An undead corpse basically torn between two spirits. And there could be a lot of things there, but there really isn't anything. Her eyes just glow and she doesn't talk on her own voice. And that's it. So, I don't know. It's not a gigantic pile of shit, but it's one of those things that I think it's below what Bioware usually does. That's I guess, sort of it's an odd mix. The combat system real time sort of works for the most part fairly well, although has its issues. But at the same time, the usual strong story and characterization, the sort of banter between the different characters, that's below what you would expect from a Bioware game. I don't know if this game has romances, but I haven't seen. Dawn certainly has. Dawnstar, without a doubt. I just dismissed that early on, but I have no idea are other romances possible because I at least haven't noticed them. Uh, Maybe I should talk to people more. I don't know. I don't know, but it seems like a lot of little weaknesses that you typically don't expect in a Bioware game. I don't know. Definitely, well, it's clearly a Bioware game. It has all the familiar things, but at the same time, it's sort of, as far as gameplay is concerned, in many ways, I think it's maybe even better than what they usually do when they do their own systems. And on the story front, bit and characterization front, a bit weaker. Hmm. Hmm.